Hi, I'm Basil, and 3 years ago I made a comic website so that I could share my ideas with the world. It's been a lot of fun, but it's starting to seem silly to separate my work into two different places, so I'm merging the website so it's all here on YouTube now. What you're about to see is old art, so be wary. It might be a shock to see where I started from. The first half of this video will be the comics with some music, and the second half will be those same comics but with artist commentary. So you can pick which you'd like to see more, or watch the whole thing and get both experiences. It's up to you. With that out of the way, let's get to it. This comic cracks me up to this day. I kind of hate majority of the comic, like the way I drew myself, the way I drew others, everything about it I'm not super happy with anymore. But Sham trying to swallow that bell kills me every single time I look at it. Like, gosh dang, that is good comedy. I drew it perfectly to send my mind spiraling with reasons to burst out laughing. This is one of the few comics that I can look back on and I actively dislike. Like, none of my old pieces are perfect, but I appreciate them for what they are. For some reason, I just don't like this one that much. Don't know why. That being said, I am going to point out a few things that I think were good. One, I put a lot of effort into that scenery. The backgrounds did well. They look exactly like I wanted them to, and outlining the background made the entire piece feel more harmonious than other comics I've done with lineless backgrounds. 2. The detail in that brick wall was very clever. It was a clever idea to take a lighter color and block out the bricks like that. And finally, 3. Sham looks fantastic, which is really all that matters in the end anyway, since this comic's about him. It's funny how not having a loud, pestering bird to bother you all the time lets you take a moment and breathe. Sham being the representation of all that hormonal garbage that comes with being a teen can drive me crazy sometimes. He's not easy to get rid of, but it is possible. I wish I could have handed off the weird emotional stuff that made school even more difficult, like I did Sham in this comic. Oh well, you can't get rid of your own brain. Good thing Sham isn't my brain. I can hire a babysitter for him, or in some cases, he'll volunteer to go off and bother someone else for a moment. It was an interesting choice of shading in this piece. I don't usually go with the soft shading style, and I don't usually do it for the very reason this comic shows. The shading is almost unnoticeable because I didn't want to make it look too dark, so instead I made it too light. It's a balance. More contrasted shading can be really cool, but at this point I don't think I really understood shading very well, and I'm glad to see that I've improved since then. Of all the comics, this one is my favorite. It is my absolute favorite. Soup Menace originated from this comic. I needed a band shirt to put Roxxanne in, and thus Soup Menace was born. Originally, the logo was just a lightning bolt, but after putting some thought into it, the fly makes so much more sense. Honestly, if this comic had not lined up in the way it did, Soup Menace would not exist. I would not have learned how to play guitar or other stringed instruments. This comic is responsible for setting in motion a lot of things in my life. I could talk about this comic all day, between background, how good Roxxanne looks, that guy with the chainsaw, all of it. I'm very proud of the anatomy and proportions of everything. The chainsaw also looks like a chainsaw, and that's always a huge bonus. If you asked me to pick the best comic that has come from me in the 3 years that I did this website, this would be the one. It's funny, it looks nice, and in general, it is my absolute favorite. So you all now know which comic I like. So it's only fair that you tell me which one was your favorite. Hint, it should be the corn maze. Okay, I'm just kidding. They're all good in a different way. And so they're not really comparable because they're years apart from each other. At any rate, let me know which one was your favorite, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!